Well, what I'm going to do, listeners, combine your statement with everybody else's statement on the video together. Mainly because your statement had video access, the other ones don't have theirs turned on. But I think it's part and parcel of the same argument. They were saying they were shocked that Valentina beat Zhang. And more than that, the size difference they started talking about. What you're talking about is the people complaining that Islam held Jack Della Magdalena down, and that's a boring fight. Listen, I'm the first one to admit that grappling might not be as exciting as striking. However, I think we need to remember it is the mix that actually creates that excitement. And how can I prove that? Well, I'll prove it straight out. Number one, boxing, which used to be my favorite sport because it was the only real combat sport in the major stage, isn't nearly as exciting as MMA. And kickboxing has never gotten out of the dock. I mean, there was a short time when K1 was exciting, but that's it. So the reality is, MMA itself is a blend of those arts, and you got to be good everywhere. Now, why are people not screaming Valentina's fight was boring? Probably because Valentina is known to do it all, right? She'll do Taekwondo spin back kicks. She'll do Muay Thai round kicks, right? And then last night she showed a jiu-jitsu top-heavy game where she's able to keep someone down, grind him out, and beat who essentially is like the number 2 pound-for-pound woman in the world, and solidifying, in my opinion, Valentina's stance as the best MMA women's fighter of all time. It's because she's so diverse in what she can do. Now, the thing with Islam I think people are complaining about is that's how all his fights end. But guys, let's not take away. Listen, he really did damage Jack Della Magdalena's foot is with those calf kicks. I think that's very clear, right? And he also knocked out Volk with a head kick effectively too. So he does do those other things here and there. It's just we're so focused on that Dagestani heavy Sambo game that we now complain about it. And I think that's funny. I think that's very human nature. You know, no matter who you are, like Roy Jones Jr. was one of the most masterful boxers of all time. And then people started complaining, well, you know, he fights these no-namers and, you know, he beats them by decision and we don't like that. And that's what people do. People get spoiled no matter what you give them. And remember, if you took the grappling part out of MMA, suddenly MMA is not very exciting anymore. And proof of that is kickboxing, Muay Thai, and even boxing today. You know, they're just not as exciting as what MMA is. So listen, guys, if our heroes lost, if Zhang was who you were rooting for, who you thought would win, if Jack Della Magdalena was your man, well, guess what? They got to go back and they got to work on their grappling. And by the way, you're talking to a terrible grappler, right? Like, not only am I bad at jiu-jitsu, right? But beyond that, like blending them together, blending my striking and my grappling together for me is very difficult. And I think that's an element. You might be really good at jiu-jitsu and you might be good at some version of stand-up, but that doesn't mean you're good at MMA. I mean, look, the Diaz brothers lacked wrestling and they lacked kicking, right? Like, and it showed glaringly in their MMA. And it is very hard to be a totally complete mixed martial artist. That's why Valentina, that's why Islam were so impressive last night. And yeah, that's the way I see it. Like and follow for more on the Fight Game.